Hello and welcome to Kelly's Legends Media. Okay, before I get started, I want to thank all the subscribers for watching, participating in the comment section, and for hitting that like button. Thank you very much. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you watch the videos occasionally, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below, set that notification bell, and also you'll be notified whenever we drop a new video. If at some time you become bored with the channel, or you don't like what I'm putting out, you could always unsubscribe, you know. But we're trying to hit a 10,000 subscriber goal right now. We're getting closer to that, but it's slow going. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is there's a lot of static right now on YouTube regarding some videos that came out talking about the inside. When I say the inside, I mean behind the wall. I think the first one I saw was from Damian Porter of Inside Story. I also seen one from Spider Loke, who's also a black content creator, and Ann Hefe, another respectable content creator. Dubs also made one regarding this issue. But I have some things maybe to add to it, and some other stuff that you might take away from this video. Especially the brothers, you know. Look, first of all, if you don't really know about the way the prisons are set up, they're set up by levels, okay? Level 1 through level 4. Level 4 being the more volatile, the more violent yards. Level 3, right behind level 4. Then you got level 2, which gets really, really loose. And level 1, it's like Disneyland. So basically, right now, the word is that on a level 4 yard, and not all the level 4s, this is only a couple of level 4s that this is taking place so far. If you are on a 50-50 yard, okay, and I'll explain what that is right now, you're not allowed to come back to general population. You cannot go back to these level 4 yards. It doesn't matter your race or anything. If you're an individual, if you're a man that went on one of these yards, which is basically an SNY yard, okay, or a PC yard, then if you ever try to come back to the main line, you'll probably get broke off an issue. You're gonna get your cat peeled. Now, they have 2 yards that are kind of distinctive when it comes to SNY. You have the SNY yard, which includes PCs, people that have done things to children and women, you know, people with bad cases, people with bad paperwork, people who've messed up on the main line. They'll end up on these yards, okay? And a 50-50 yard, all that is they interject people that are considered general population inmates. But certain races aren't allowed to go there. They have a curfew on those yards, where if you go to those yards, you only got a certain amount of time to get off them, you know. And the way you get off them is by taking off on somebody, you know, attacking somebody. And of course, you'll go to the hole, go through the process, then they'll send you to a different yard. They also have an EOP yard. An EOP yard is where you go if you have some type of mental issue and you need some type of medication to help you with that, okay? Also a bad yard. You cannot go to an EOP yard and be good, be allowed on the main line. You know, you don't want to sleep and fall asleep with somebody that has a loose mentality or a dangerous mentality sleeping right below you or above you, you know. Anything could happen. So those people are usually not kept on a general population yard. Now, the only race that has been open to inmates going to these yards have been the black inmates. You know, there's never been an issue with them. If they go to a 50-50 yard where there is PCs, people with bad paperwork, and people that have done things with children and women against their will, then as far as they were concerned, or as far as some of them were concerned, that's okay, long as you're not there for those reasons, right? Now, Davian Porter was pretty adamant, and in fact, I think he repeated it like 4 times during his video, that if you're a solid inmate and a brother, you have no business on those yards, living, eating, selling up with people with those charges. That's why people that go to those yards are so unwanted and so disrespected, and yeah, you go there, you're through, okay? And Davian Porter feels the same, that black people should not go there. You know, if not just the black people, anybody, you know, whether you're a person of color or you're white, if you're a solid individual, you should not go to a PC yard or a yard where there's PCs and people who have committed those crimes that I outlined. So now we're in 2025. Now I've heard people explain things about prison and stuff like in the 90s and stuff. I didn't do time in the 90s. You know, I was in the county jail, but my prison time was in 2000, and things have changed. And since then, things have changed. You know, even the way you get your packages. You know, before your people could send you a package from the house, you know, with a list of things that you wanted. Now you got to order them from a magazine and hope they send you the right stuff. And like the radios, the TVs, all those things need to be like a clear plastic now. Before they were black, you know, different colors. But now you have to have a TV that they could look inside when they go in and search and make sure that there's no weapons hidden inside there, you know. Even for a while they were talking about only having one appliance each inmate. I never heard that really come to pass, but that was the word when I was getting ready to parole, which wouldn't have worked up in the desert where I was, because, you know, you need a fan. You each need your fan. And then what? How do you warm your coffee and your food? What do you do all day in the cell if you get a hot pot and a fan? You know, you have no TV, no stereos. Anyways, I never heard that come to pass. In fact, I heard it even got better. Now they got tablets and they got games, you know, Game Boys, and they have I guess some type of Xbox or whatever they're called, those boxes where you play games, you know, which is a good way to waste a lot of time, you know. So I'm sure that helps in doing time. Anyways, I kind of got off track on the subject. I just was giving an example on how much things have changed since I paroled in 2005. Everything I just mentioned is all new since 2005, you know. And if it was sooner, it was happening in other prisons. So now we're in 2025, and not just the Southsiders, but all the inmates came together and decided that those guys on the 50-50 yard would not be allowed on these level 4 yards. Okay, Now, not all the yards are in agreement, and not all the yards are practicing this. But those level 4s that agreed to it, that's how they're running their program. And that's the way it should be ran. Okay? It's not in my opinion, it's not a matter, the blacks, you can't tell the blacks what to do. You can't run our program. We run our own program. And nobody's trying to run anybody's program. There's some things, like, I don't know anybody who likes somebody who did something to some kid, or 2 or 3, 4, 5 kids, that were found different places unalived. They did. Out here in society, we despise them. In prison, they have a target on their back. So if you're living with these people, what does that make you? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that a lot of these people that spoke on this really see the whole picture. It's not telling anybody what to do. On your own, you guys should talk and decide and say, you know what, we thought about what you guys mentioned, and we think it's a good idea. You know what? Fuck those guys. They're not coming back. We agree. But instead, they're worried about, nobody's gonna tell us. All these Mexicans are gonna tell us what to do. And then on one of the thumbnails, I seen, F Mexicans. Like, that shit's pouring out into the street faster than it's pouring from yard to yard up there. You know what I'm saying? And if this can cause a bigger event, and people know what they're in for. What they're in it for. And if they don't want to live with these people that are coming back from these yards, they're not going to live with them people. And if whole races are going to actually go and put their people through that for some piece of shit, or somebody who went over to that side, I don't get it. Like, you can go to the PC yard and then come back, or you could go to the SNY yard or the 50-50 yard and come back. It's all the same. You have all the same people over there that you have, no matter what the titles they're giving it. My suggestion would be, in a peaceful way, have a meeting with people who you guys know. If you're in there, you know who to meet with, and talk about it and get everything straight, and get on board with something like this. This is a good thing. This isn't anybody trying to control anything, except for the flow of them people being able to come and go from those yards back in the general population. There's something wrong with that, and it should have been addressed a long time ago. And I'm glad it's being addressed now, and I'm glad people like Damian Porter can see this, because Damian Porter's been a lot of places, and he's been in positions to either make decisions or help make decisions, seeing things with a level head. Anyways, you guys tell me what you think. This is already hitting the street. It's already coming out on social media. So if social media is talking about it, people are talking about it in the street, in the hoods. So but I agree with Damian Porter. If you're a solid individual, I don't care what color you are. You could be green, purple, yellow, blue. I don't give a fuck. You have no reason to, or no business living with somebody who commits those types of crimes, if you're a stand-up and solid individual, and that doesn't just go as far as prison goes. That goes as far as being out here too, and it's a shame, because they're everywhere. They're living all around us. There was one living in the front of my apartments. He's not there no more. But yeah, the day I found out, I went over there and did a big old desmadre. I had no idea, and he was always playing with the kids and stuff. And it wasn't a kid; it was a minor. I mean, a young minor, like 16-year-old, 15-year-old kid. Dude was already a grown-ass man, you know. And yeah, he couldn't live there. I could not have him living there like that, you know. And you know what? When the cops came, they rolled up slow, pulled over, got off. They already knew who it was. Well, probably when they got the address, you know. And basically, they didn't do anything, you know. They asked me if I laid a hand on him or hit him with anything, and I told him, man, I could barely walk. What are you talking about? You know. Did he say that? Well, no, but we had a call from somebody across the street that says that you were hitting him. I go, maybe someone who looked like me, but no, it wasn't me, you know. And it wasn't, you know. It was, you know. There's always somebody in this world, man, that looks just like you, you know. Seriously, you got a twin walking around. Everybody does. Everybody knows that. But I'm glad that the guy did get got gone, because it just made me sick, him living there, and we have a lot of kids living there, you know. So be careful, man. Who's around you guys? Who you guys live next door, or you know, who's playing with the kids? And yeah, man, it's ugly. But grown-ass men, man, have no business on those yards unless you have business on that yard. And what I mean by that is, unless you're one of them chomos, or you have bad paperwork, or you have a reason to be on those yards. Why would you go to those yards? Why would you even go there? If you're GP, then that's where you belong, in GP. And if you can't be on a general population yard for whatever reason, and you leave, then you should not be welcome back. And that's just the way it's always been, you know. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think. Am I wrong for thinking this way? What do you suggest is the answer to this mess, you know? But respects to those on those level 4 yards where all the razas came together, all the races, and they all agreed, yeah, them guys ain't coming to back onto not, at least not here, they're not, you know. And those were on a couple of level 4 yards, you know. Maybe it'll spread, you know. I think it's a good policy, and nobody needs to tell nobody what to do. Maybe bring it to their attention, and hopefully they can get past themselves and think about the big picture, you know. Anyways, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you on the next video. God bless you and your family, and take care. Stay out from behind them walls, people. There's a lot of funny things going on behind those walls that can, yeah, you just don't know from day to day, man, when things happen. And people ready to go home sometimes never make it. So to you, those of you in there, man, good luck and best wishes. Hope you all make it home, and safe, and back to your families and the ones that really love you. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.